Hello there, and welcome to The Wandering Wolf. I'm your host, Mark Rhodes. Alongside me, as always, is my friend and fellow Wolves lifer, Mr. Craig Forward. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, buddy. I'm very well. Good to see you on this fine Thursday evening.
It certainly is a fine Thursday evening because tonight's guest is a cracker. He's a former Wolves player. He scored 250 goals in his career. He's played in a World Cup, European Championships for Republic of Ireland. It's David Kelly. How are you, David? I can't even get my words out. I'm so excited, mate.
Who are you or how are you?
Definitely not who are you, mate. Who are you? We know who you are, mate. How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you, guys. Yeah, happy to be on with you, talking a load of rubbish about football.
That's basically what our channel is. So thank you for doing that. First off, David, I want to ask you how you got into football in the first place. We'll start at the beginning, shall we? Even before you started playing professional football, what was it that first made you fall in love with the game?
Goodness me. Well, I was very fortunate. I had a hip problem when I was young, when I was 4 and 5 and stuff. I had a condition called Perthes disease. So I had that for my younger years, really. But, you know, I got around at school and crutches and stuff like that for a good few years, and just teach yourself to be resilient a little bit, I think. You know, and sort of getting a little bit 8 and 9 sort of thing, started to play football for the school. My plaster cast came off and my crutches were taken away and stuff like that. So, yeah, and then I played for a local team from where I was living called Bartley Green Boys team. Yeah. And they were a manager called Mickey Ball, and they were brilliant. And we were a decent team. We used to beat teams 15-0 and 14-2 and 21.
You were good then.
Yeah. So and of course I was always a striker. So you know, I got to score quite a few goals for Bartley Green Boys team. That's for sure.
Class. Well, it's interesting because obviously you were born in Birmingham. So you could have represented England if you wanted to. What was why did you choose Ireland?
Pretty simple, really. I got called up for the England under-21s at the time, and they were playing Czechoslovakia, which is now obviously the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Slovakia, of course, they've both split and stuff.
They have.
And within getting the letter on the sort of Monday, we were playing up at Rotherham with Walsall on the Tuesday, and I played the game. I scored, and Tommy Coakley, who was Walsall manager at the time, said that somebody wants to meet you upstairs, and it was Jack Charlton.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, so I went up and had a chat with Jack in a smoky director's room back in the day when they yeah. Awesome. Jack was there, and he said, "Would you want to come and play for us?" So I said, "What do you mean? Would you want to come and play for us?" He says, "Come and play for Ireland." I said, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Can I ask you a question?" He said, "Yeah, of course you can." I said, "Is it the 21s or the first team?"
Nice.
Yeah. So he says, "No, it's
a bit cheeky." Love it.
I said, "Yeah," and I said, "Am I going to start or am I going to be sub?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You'll start." He said, "We're playing Israel." I said, "I'm in. I'm coming."
And that didn't go too bad, did it? Your first game?
No, first game, quite a successful game. You know, my mum was born in England. My dad was obviously born in Dublin, so
right.
I'd obviously got the opportunity for either. But as soon as Jack had said that I was going to play a real international game,
hard to turn that down.
Absolutely. And,
what was that? What was that like? What was that like? Just playing like your first international game, and obviously you don't want to. You're being far too modest. You scored an hat-trick in your first game, didn't you? Which is incredible. It really, really is incredible. But what was that feeling like? Like to know that you were an international player at like such a young age?
Yeah, well, obviously it was fantastic. I did say that it went quite well, so I think a hat-trick is as going as well as you could possibly hope.
I'll bring it up, mate. I'll bring it up. You don't have to say it.
Yeah. So it was brilliant. You know, I was playing with Liam Brady and Ray Houghton, and John Aldridge was in the squad.
Amazing.
And, it was and these are all. I was playing in the third division for Walsall at the time, and these are all guys playing in what is now the Premier League, which used to be called the first division.
Yeah.
And they were brilliant. You know, Mark Lawrence and the likes. These were the best players in the Premier League at the time. Some of these guys, and there's little old me coming out of Walsall in the third division.
Well, I was going to say, like, they're like the golden years of the Republic of Ireland. Like, you know, you talk about the 1990 World Cup, 94, you know, the European Championships. Like, that group of players, you've listed them there, that they would get into the top Premier League clubs now, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would, yeah. There were some really good players in the squad. You know, and very, very fortunate. I went to Euro 88. I didn't play. I went to Italy in 90, I didn't play. I was a squad member, and then I ended up playing against Norway in America, sort of 4 years later.
Amazing. Yeah. What's that like to be involved in a World Cup squad? What's just that general feeling of, you know, being there? But that must be incredible. Obviously, that's the pinnacle, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, Craig. To be fair, I mean, it was very different all those years ago because you know, we're talking 30 years ago, and the press guys who were around, there was obviously no Twitter, no Facebook, or that type of thing, and the press guys were friends of the players.
Nice.
So so nobody would get stitched up, but you know, if you'd had a few beers and that type of thing, and you know, you'd been in a nightclub and stuff like that. There was none of that sort of stuff going on all those years ago, and we socialised together, the press and the players, and
it's a bit more relaxed than it is now.
Yeah, it was just different times. You know, I'm not saying it's better then or it's better now. It was just different times, and you know, we used to go away and everybody be on the same flight. You know, so you could end up sitting next to one of the journalists on the way over to, I don't know, the Czech Republic or, you know, whichever country we were travelling to.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, would you prefer to play now, or was that the time that you enjoyed playing football the most because of that, you know, camaraderie with the press? You definitely wouldn't get that now, would you?
No. Of course, you know, with the invention of, you know, social media and the like, different platforms and stuff that people are able to access, it is very, very difficult. You know, I don't say either way whether it was better for my generation or for the new generation. It's just different, of course. Yeah. That's it. You know, we play a certain way these days. We played a certain way when we played with Jack. I mean, you know, the beautiful game for the Irish team was getting the ball forward as quickly as possible. You know, we would call that long ball football now, but we were very successful and we had very, very good players within that squad. Yeah,
you really, really did. And, you know, if it was successful, then so be it, you know. Well, we talk about your international career, but your club career, wow. You say Walsall, West Ham, Leicester, Newcastle, Wolves, amongst others. And you finished your career at Derry City, didn't you? But I want to ask you, what was your peak? Which club did you think, I'm as good as what I'm going to possibly get here?
I don't actually think that that I ever thought that, in all honesty.
Really?
You know, I don't think that I ever thought, or looking back now, I don't think that I thought there was a peak, really. I'd done quite well at various different clubs and didn't do quite so well at other clubs. You know, but you when you're not doing so well, you move on and you leave, and then, you know, hopefully you get better at the new place that you go to. And I think that from my personal point of view, I think that I had successes and failures at lots of different clubs. I mean, I was having a count up the other day. I think I've been at about, I've been to, I think it's 22 clubs.
Wow.
I've been to a couple of clubs a couple of times, you know, like Walsall and Forest and
Tranmere. Is it Tranmere as well?
And Tranmere, you know, that was my first coaching role. Ray Mathias, and so I don't think there was ever a peak. I don't believe in singling out in one fantastic club or one particular moment.
Well, okay, different question then. Not you think that you were at your peak, but what part of your career did you enjoy the most?
All of it.
Fair enough.
Even, just playing.
Even recently, the different coaching roles that I've held, it's I've been involved with the players and been involved with different groups. I feel that I'm fortunate that I've been very lucky at times. And I do know everybody in football, or most people in football, purely and simply because of my longevity sort of thing. I've had lots of jobs in coaching. And I was massively fortunate to have a long playing career. And also it helps when you don't get injured very often.
Well, I was going to say, you had. Well, you just looked after yourself, really, and I think that's a testament to you. Yeah, obviously, you were lucky with your injuries, but you got to look after yourself, haven't you? In that respect, to have the longevity that you did. Yeah,
I think also you have to have a little bit of luck as well along the way. But if you're super fit, then sometimes you can make your own luck of staying away from injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
I think I've got to say, I think at times I was. Because I was obsessed with playing, and all the managers that ever managed me and the coaches that coached me would tell you firsthand, if I was out the team, I was a nightmare.
I'll bet.
Because I just wanted to play, and with all due respect to reserve team football, that wasn't for me. I wanted to be in the first team, and
as Jack Charlton knows.
And I've got stories about different clubs that I've been at when I've been left out. This thing about going to see the manager. I was seeing the manager on the Monday morning, even if the team had won on the Saturday, I'd been left out. Yeah, because I was just obsessed with playing. That was the thing.
Okay, well, that's interesting you say that, because when you played at Wolves with Graham Taylor, there was you, there was Don Goodman, there was Steve Bull, and obviously only two of those players were going to play in the team. And you had a fantastic season where you outscored Bully, which in the 90s doesn't happen. So how did you enjoy your time at Wolves? Because obviously we're a Wolves channel. It would be really nice to get your thoughts on your time with the club.
I honestly, as everybody knows, I'm an Albion fan, and I had no hesitation in signing. It was just a no-brainer for me. It's a massive club. I was coming back to the West Midlands, and what Graham Turner was saying at the time, and how he was hoping to progress the team. I was going to be part of that. And, I loved my time at the Wolves. And the main reason was all the characters. And Bully, I call Bully Fathead. Fathead was brilliant.
Fantastic.
He is without doubt one of the best goal scorers for long time, for lots and lots of years. Yeah. He's a brilliant kid. He's a brilliant kid as well. He's tight as a submarine door, but he's a proper good lad. So thinking about going to the Wolves and playing with him was an exciting prospect.
But like that season where I remember it vividly actually, because like I think I was about 13, 14, and I had a season ticket at the time, me old man, and I always remember the FA Cup game against Leicester. That for me was one of the best games of football, like for me as a fan, like when we scored that absolutely amazing team goal and beat Leicester 1-0. Can you remember that game specifically?
I can't actually remember all the teams scoring the goal. I thought it was me.
It was you. But it was a great team goal, and that, like, for me, that was probably one of my favourite Wolves games to watch, because obviously the atmosphere and the way we played fantastically well, and to be a part of that team must have been really amazing. Like getting, like, because the FA Cup obviously it's not so much a big deal. Obviously, it was when we were in the semi-final against Watford and at Wembley, and it was a massive occasion and everything. Yeah. But back then, we weren't expected to beat a team like Leicester. So, like, what I'm asking is like, what was that day like? If you can remember, like, did you think you were going to turn over Leicester?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, because we had a good team.
Yeah,
we had cracking team. We did. We had really good players in the team, so confidence was obviously high. Graham Turner had obviously gone, which was sad, a while before, and Graham Turner had gone. Graham Taylor came in, of course. But it was a really good game, and I get what you mean, the team goal, because it came from a corner, didn't it? They had a corner.
It was just fast. It was just bosh. It was like what I'm used to watching Wolves. Well, last season. Yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? That type of football, and Wolves were, let's be honest, weren't renowned at the time for playing that type of football. So to watch it and to be there in person to watch it, it was just a great experience for myself. Like, but the fact that you scored that goal, and like, was it like it was the goal of the season as well, wasn't it? It was just a special day for me. I just remember being with the old man. It was just a great day. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is as well about midweek cup games is, for some strange reason, we all have got this this thought process that Tuesday night at whatever ground, and it's going to be it's dark and it's a little bit damp and the pitch is a little bit slippy and stuff like that. It sort of promotes a sort of a type of game, and Leicester were obviously in a higher league, and we just played really, really well. I mean, it was just the Sheffield Wednesday game was the game.
But I was just about to say, like, that for me, that was like that was just the most ridiculous game of football I've ever like when we had replays. Obviously, we drew Hillsborough, and that game. Like, did you for 1 second think when we went 3-0 down in the penalty shootout that we were actually going to win? Because I didn't.
No. Listen, Andy Thompson, my little mate, little Tinky Winky from the.
He never misses. He never misses.
He'd scored 7 out of 7 before that game. He was a banker. He was the one that was just going to score anyway.
It was just.
And then, I mean, Robbie Dennison, Robbie missed, I think, as well. Just after,
he did, yeah.
Robbie missed after Tomo, yeah.
He was Robbie, it was Robbie, and then who else? Well, Gordon Cowans scored the one that kept us in the game.
Yeah.
And then it all fell apart for them because I just wanted to see Chris Waddle take one. That's all I wanted to do.
Craig, you're obviously too young to remember all these type of games.
Oh, absolutely, mate. This is way before my time.
So depressing.
Yeah, I think what if you go onto YouTube and have a look. I looked at this a while ago because I was talking to one of my pals who's a Wolves season ticket holder, and he was talking about good penalties. And I still stand by that Kevin Pressman's penalty is the best penalty that anybody has ever scored. Full stop.
I completely agree. Like, it was the most. He ran
still
up.
Traveling.
Like, it's still going somewhere. Like
Have
that.
Have you seen the penalty?
Yeah. I'm not that young, unfortunately, but I was only a nipper.
My God, like it was like, but it was just the casual, like, just rocket in the top corner and said, "Oh, I'll save one now." It was just.
I gotta say, wearing arguably the worst goalkeeping shirt in the history of goalkeeping shirts.
It was like somebody had puked over him. It was awful, wasn't it? It was awful. Well, speaking of memories, what's your favourite memory as a player? Can you think what sticks out, mate?
I've got lots. Honestly, I've got lots. I've got getting promoted with Warsaw when I was young.
Yeah.
I went and had when I was leaving Warsaw, when I ended up going to West Ham. I'd been to Germany to Bayern Munich, and I'd had a week's training over there with Bayern Munich and stuff.
Oh,
wow. and as I said earlier on, I have been really, really lucky because I've played for massive clubs.
Yeah.
Not when they've been all at their best, but had pretty successful times at different places. And, as I said earlier on, thoroughly enjoyed all of it, really. And it's, like I said earlier on, the Wolves are a big club. And, it's great that I know as an Albion fan, I'm a West Midlands football supporter. I really am. I want all of the teams to do really well. Like a lot of my pals are Villa fans and Blues fans and what have you. I sort of knock around with, and they're some of them are moaning, some of them are happy.
Isn't that interesting now? Yeah, it's really interesting because just look at the England squad that's just come out. Like, there ain't many England squads that have Albion, Wolves, and Villa players in there at the same time. We should be very proud of that, really. Really proud of it.
We do get a little bit missed out, I suppose, in the West Midlands sometimes, don't we? But such is football.
Yeah. So what do you think, like Albion wise? I know we're a Wolves channel, but we might as well. Hey, let's just speak about this season because it's.
Well, we're going to get relegated, and that's about it, really.
Yeah, it's in a nutshell.
Yeah. Agent Sam's done his job.
Well, somebody said that to me a while ago, actually. But if anybody can get them looking on a positive for next season, if anybody can get them back up, it should be Sam. And
do you think he's going to stay? Do you think he's going to stay?
Yeah. Why would he go? He's a footballing person. He's been in the game an awful long time. He's had good success rates and success levels all over the place, and been a good manager. And also, as well, what people forget about Big Sam is that he sort of half was the pioneer, really, at the start. He's, with protein shakes and looking after your diets. Yeah. And he really was. When he went to Bolton and brought all those really good players in, there's a complete change in how people managed, how players were, and looking after their lifestyles.
How different were the managers that you played under? Because, like, you've played under so many, but there must have been like some managers that you thought were a bit more forward thinking, let's say.
Yeah, well, I played for, I'll go through a couple of them. So I went from Walsall to West Ham, and West Ham had three managers while I was there. John Lyle, Lou Macari, who I didn't think was very good, let's just put it that way.
Right.
And Billy Bonds. Huge. I went to Leicester. Davy Pleat was the manager, and then Brian Little came in. Both of them brilliant guys. And then where did I go after that? Went to Newcastle. Ozzy Ardiles, World Cup winner, signed me. And then Kevin Keegan comes in.
Oh my God!
And you go from Osvaldo Ardiles, one of the best players in world football, to Kevin Keegan, the European Footballer of the Year on a couple of different occasions and stuff like that.
Blimey.
So, I've been blessed, really. I've been really lucky. And further down the line, Graham Taylor, who I know he got a bit of a tough press at the Wolves, really, but I really liked him. He was very straight with me when he was getting rid of me, and I did really like him.
I really liked Graham Taylor. I thought he got a really bad rap as well. Yeah. I agree. Like from the press, he didn't have a leg to stand on, really, did he? But yeah, like some of the managers you've just reeled off there, I'm like, what the hell?
Just some small names. There.
Yeah, but like club managers, but the World Cups, the World Cup that you played in '94. I know you played in the '94 one, and you didn't play in the '90. What was the difference like? What was the squad depth like in the 1990 squad and the '94 squad? Were they comparable in any way?
No, not really. I think Jack always brought players in. He sort of retired players off at times, and then brought new players in and younger players coming in. There was lots of differences between the squads, but there was always the DNA. The DNA was very much all about the team.
Yeah.
It wasn't about any individual. It wasn't about whether Jason McAteer came in or Phil Babb came in or Roy Keane when Roy came in. It wasn't about an individual situation. It was always about the togetherness of the group.
That's brilliant.
I think that's where Jack was brilliant. Really, he was quite one-dimensional in how he played because we just did get it forward, but we got it forward, and then when it was kicked back into the middle of the park, we had really, really good midfield players who could play and pass.
Yeah, like Ray Houghton, he's a quality player.
Kevin Sheedy, arguably one of the best left wingers ever. You know, he's just what a left foot he had. Sheedy.
Yeah, like to be fair, you reeled off some of them Republic of Ireland names. They are absolutely class.
Yeah.
Like, and any regrets during your career? I know you said you've been very lucky during your career, but is there any time in your career where you thought, I wish I would have done that, or missed a missed opportunity? So.
No, I think the hindsight part of football is quite easy to do. If you could do different things again with hindsight, then you would do lots of different things, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But you haven't got that when you're actually making a decision, and you're whatever situation that you put into, and you've got to say yes or no. Because don't forget, with footballers and football, sometimes it happens overnight. Yeah. Transfers used to happen really, really quickly. And your decision is, do I go or do I stay? What do I do? But I remember Bully saying to me just before I left, he said, stay, don't go, stay. It'll change soon. And I said, Bully, it won't change for me, because if I'm not in the team, that means I'm not playing. I said, so I'm not sitting here for the next couple of months waiting on the sidelines.
That's fair. Absolutely fair.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do what feels right for you at the time, don't you? That's
Yeah, you do, Craig, and also
big lesson, I think.
When you've got an opportunity to make a decision about what ultimately what and where you're going to play, it's a big thing. Families are involved, kids are involved, schools are involved, and moving kids out of schools and moving up the other side of the country. And so, I mean,
you don't really see that side of it, do you? With the transfer windows, and they make such a big deal of the transfer deadline day.
Agents getting in cuts of it and stuff.
It's just I'll go and play for them this week. But
I mean, I was when I was at West, when I obviously went to West Ham, signed at West Ham, lived in Epping, and then I was driving up and down with David Oldfield and Ricky Hill. From Essex up to Leicester. And then I left Leicester to go to Newcastle. So we had to move. You can't drive from Essex to Newcastle every day, of course.
No.
Yeah.
And then Newcastle, I came back to the West Midlands. I came back to the Wolves, and I thought, right, that's it, that's sound. And then I went to Sunderland, so I went back up to the North East.
Let's get close to Scotland. Yeah, that's it, yeah. Mate, you've been... Does that actually... I bet you have. Does that come into your frame of mind when you're looking? Well, it obviously didn't. But looking back now, when you think, "Oh God, I moved to a club that's a little bit closer, and I don't have to worry about travel."
That's what I thought when I came back to sign for the Wolves. I thought I've been in London, I've been in Leicester, I've been in the North East now, and then I'm going back home. I can actually see my sisters.
Yeah,
instead of not seeing them. Missing my little sisters when I'm in Newcastle playing.
That's true. That's so true.
But at the end of the day, it's a short career, and everybody knows it is a short career, and you have to make the best of it.
Indeed. What do you prefer? Sorry.
I've got no complaints with all the decisions I made. To answer your question, eventually, as I say, I've been really lucky.
Do you prefer playing or managing?
I miss playing every day of the week. When I'm coaching on the training ground and I can't move because my knees have gone and my ankles are fused and my back's hanging out, and they're all running around thinking, "I wish that was me." So I don't think any. You accept that you're finished, of course. That the older you get, but there's never ever a time where you don't think for 1 second, "I wish that was still me."
Yeah, I could get on the end of that cross.
Yeah, I might have to get a lift to get off, but I'm not too. Yeah.
Oh well, mate, it's been absolutely lovely to reminisce and chat about your brilliant career, club wise and international wise. I've really enjoyed that, and thanks for coming on Wandering Wolf, David. It's been great.
No worries, thank you, Dave. You're more than welcome. Take care.
Cheers, mate. If you like this video, like and subscribe. It's been Wandering Wolf.